Hello everyone, Tanjiro Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video, our locals week 9 for Union Arena, we actually had our Demon Slayer rare battle event. Now, one thing I was surprised about in this event, and why I wanted to showcase some of these cards, was that yellow was super prevalent. I do feel like, red is really such a strong color for yellow too, but I don't pick who's on the top tables. So these are a lot of the main cards you will see getting played today in this battle. But in the first round, we do have Hashiras going up against a Tanjiro Toolbox deck list that Sokka is over here playing on the right. And now I did not get to see a lot of his games, but he has a pretty interesting list here on the right. Running a lot of Hashira packages in with his Tanjiro Nezuko list, which kind of gives you some consistency. Both of them being able to play the early drops and then able to get the double energy generator lovehashira on the right side. But on the left side here, the Hashira player is able to move up and get 2 early good swings in, putting some pressure on his opponent. Really cool to see this guy running the Crow. I know a lot of people don't run the Crow, but it is a good card, can give you some stability in the game. Looks like he's in a tough spot here early, to be honest, on the right hand side. He's going to have to put some blockers up on the board. Sorry about the camera angle on this one. I was, running the shop this day, and I was trying to get the camera set up, and I was in a little rush, so the angle on this first game isn't the best one, but it looks like that card was just a Nezuko, and he was able to push his turn, being able to use the concentration breathing to let him get the AP back, and then he was able to go into the Nezuko, which is a really strong card in the deck. I think he's just explaining to him here what exactly that card does, and he chooses not to block it. No reason to block it here. Keep your characters on the board. But able to get some good pressure back for him. And Nezuko is such a strong card in the Tanjiro Nezuko deck. Just being able to let you, gain the BP boost if you have a Tanjiro on the board. And then she also says when attacking, you may choose a Tanjiro on your front line and one other character on your energy line and swap them. But just searching here on the Hashira player's part. Just doing the, I think that one's the Hashira meeting. And is going to play down nice. One of the more powerful cards from the set for sure is the Tokito, being able to tap something down and then not being able to restand. But lucky here to see the Tanjiro in the life. Just telling his opponent his effect here. I think he's just, raiding here, but even though he didn't have a target to play from the hand with the Tanjiro effect, I think he just wanted to raid first for free, so that way he didn't have to pay AP during his turn. Is just going to move up, drew another card, and did get to sideline the Tokito. The Tokito, when sidelined though, very defensive card, being able to let you rest another character, and they yeah, the wind sideline effect here, I think that's what they're just talking about. His wind plate effect and then his wind sideline effect on the Tokito's are two different ones. Like when you play him, they have to stay suspended. When he's sideline, you just get to suspend something. So not as good wind sideline, but paying the AP to make the lovehashira here, konroji, really strong, and then just gets to block out. I say it over and over again, this lovehashira konroji, the little drop being able to just get boosted up, is such a good card in the deck to be able to give you early pressure on the board. You just pay 1 AP and you make her a 4K body, and she's only costing you, the 1 action point to play out, so not a bad card. We are going to see the Tanjiro come down and swing here. He is going to see a color trigger here, which he definitely needs to tap down the Nezuko, so that way he avoids another swing, and then having to block out here and take another life. Really fortunate on the Tanjiro player side, being able to see some of these kill spells in hand, being able to clear the board of the Hashira players. If you are able to control Hashira players' boards, they don't have any raid targets, so it's harder for them to put a lot more pressure back on the board, considering both of their big drops, the Miss Konroji and the Tokito, costing 2 action points. Even though they have very powerful effects, they do cost you the 2 action points. Getting his action point back here, just going to play down the Tomiyoko. And I think that is the Tomiyoko that has like the pseudo protection, like your opponent can't sideline him. Seeing him already play down 2 of the kill spells though, probably not having to worry about him playing another one anyways. The Zenitsu here is going to let him search for a card, and I think that one lets you get like any of the characters that are not him. I'm not sure exactly what that searcher does. I think it lets you get any of the other characters that's not himself. So yeah, he's able to grab the Tanjiro here, but looking pretty threatening for him, being able to have these 4 characters out. Now, the Hashira player does have the big body Gyome out, which I do believe is the 4500 DP Hashira, and he's really, really strong. And wow, he's solid. Alright, he saw all the outs this game, right? Like, he played another kill spell, able to control the board, which is definitely the downfall of any Hashira deck. If your opponent sees kill spells, like I said, you just lose so much tempo in the game. He was able to play 3 here. And get rid of the Gyome, which was the biggest threat on the board. Gonna swing in, nothing and trigger here with the Wind Hashira. Just blocking out, choosing not to take this life, but he is going to get another swing in because of the Nezuko letting him switch out. And then when that Tanjiro is switched out, I think he's able to give someone a boost, and then just able to swing for game here unless it's a final trigger. So, nice game there. You know, if you see the outs, you see the outs, right? But like I said, a lot of yellow in this tournament. Very surprising to see anyone playing red. It was all purple and all yellow. If anyone was playing red, I may have missed them on the board. Like I said, I was working. But I do feel like red is a very controlling, like being able to put a lot of pressure on your opponent. So, I think we only had like 10 people playing this event, so only 3 rounds with the person losing their pair down here. Both of them being able to play down early energy generators, which is great for both these decks. And then I think that Tokito, his deck is so blinged out, it's hard to know which ones he played, but I think that's the one that just lets him play cheaper if your opponent controls certain colors. And then he is dropping down the Kyojiro Rengoku here, and this one's really strong early because if you have 3 or more other Hashiras or the leader, you get to have double blocker. But regardless, Sock here seeing the kill spells early and often in his last game, and then now in this game being able to take out that double blocker, which is a huge threat. On the other side, the new Hashira player, I say new because the other one is on the other side, and now this Hashira player is here. But like I said, he is running more of a Tanjiro Hashira kind of toolbox deck. The main deck on the right is just a straight Hashira, no other packages in it. But wow, he's able to put a pretty beefy board here with this Gyome on board, and we get the Insect Hashira coming down. Really awesome card for sure, being blinged out. She just lets you get different effects depending on how many other characters you had. So I think he was just able to draw a card there and then rest one of his characters. Looking to just build up his backline. The Gyome gives him the free block, and then the Miss Kocho being able to be big enough to get over the Tanjiro. Unfortunate for him on turn 3, not able to see any raid Nezukos or raid Tanjiros, which he was able to see in the other game, and that's definitely where a lot of the pressure comes from in the deck. We are going to see the Hashira Trials kill spell come out here. Just choosing to use the Kocho's effect because it's just activate main, being able to do that. So I think maybe what they're talking about here is if the character keeps the minus. I don't believe that it does though, because once you raid, it is a new card, so it's not the same character. Not that I think he was able to block with it anyway, so I don't think it's a big mess up there on his part. But if you raid on top of a character, it is considered a new card, so any effects that are lingering on your characters are no longer there. But it didn't come up there, like he had the minus 1000, but he was still able to block and not die, so it doesn't change a whole lot in the grand scheme of the game. Is able to play down the Nezuko here, which is awesome. Should be able to give him a little pressure, being able to swing and then Nezuko lets him swap out one of his characters. That's why he's choosing to take the swing back, so that way, yeah, now he can do it the right way. Sequencing in these decks does matter a whole lot, because you want to get a swing in, use Nezuko, move the character that swinged first to move someone else back. Choosing not to block here, going into life to get a draw trigger off of the Snake Hashira. I always forget his name. Obanai, yeah. Obanai lets him draw the card. Swings again, does take it, gets the active trigger, so that way he can block out the Tanjiro. And now that both these boards are looking pretty even, right? Good back and forth game here. It's really just going to depend on who can maybe see a kill spell, but the Hashira player on the right, his is definitely looking a little bit stronger. Just using the Miss Konroji's effect to pay the AP to give a 4,000, and then using the Kocho's effect to give the minus 1k. Unfortunately here it does hit the active trigger, so the Obanai is really strong, going to be able to block out Miss Konroji here. Kocho is going to be able to swing in and get a life. Another active trigger, really good checks there. Definitely keeping him in the game, not having to lose any characters, and only had to lose 1 life this turn. If he can put a little pressure on the board, if he can go into another Nezuko, unfortunately he's moving this Tanjiro up, which is pretty much saying that he doesn't have another Nezuko raid in hand, because he could have pressured with the Nezuko play. You can get in 6 swings in 1 turn, which is really, really strong, but he is just going to choose to do the Tanjiro on the back line, so that way he can swing with the Nezuko to bring one of the Tanjiros back up. He is going to choose to take this one, no trigger, maybe hoping to see if he gets a special trigger in life. Going to swing, take him back and swing again, I think. Swinging with Obanai first, maybe choosing to do the Tanjiro last. A little confusing here with them moving and not kind of like resolving these effects first, but just swinging out, blocking, had to take a life here. Maybe, okay, color trigger, so now he gets to keep a Tanjiro tapped down, and really unfortunate for him because he only has 2 life, and on the Hashira player's side on the right here, yeah, he's able to tap something else down now, so only 2 blockers, 3 attackers. Still should be able to live through life on this game though, because he can just block out. He's just thinking about who he wants to lose here. Unfortunate that he's going to have to lose the Nezuko to be able to live this game. And he has, oh, he got game. Oh yeah, because the Wind Hashira, that particular one has the double attacker, which is really, really strong. It does catch a lot of people out. You're not looking at it. You're not realizing, hey, what's this guy do? And then the next thing you know, you realize it has a double attacker. He probably knew that the writing was on the wall. I just didn't see that ahead of time, that it was the double attacker. But in the finals here, we definitely do have now a different color, because we have Demons, the Gyutaro Daki deck, which is definitely one of the decks I feel like a lot of people just aren't playing in the game at the moment, but it is a really, really strong aggressive deck. Nice to see it mix up in the tournament on the top table with a purple deck. Both of them are able to curve out their energy, and the Demon player is able to put down an early swinger. Yep. Right call here, probably to move up to match and put out a blocker, and then just going to set up his energy line. His character should have been active there, but probably didn't want to take the block anyways, not wanting to lose the character so he can get a swing in. Just playing straight down and through, and nice, he is able to see the Daki early, and he does have a Gyutaro on the board, so if the Hashira player chooses to sideline this Daki, he's going to get punished for it, with the Daki being able to come right back out onto the board. Really good combo in this deck. And then Daki is 4,000 during your turn when you have Gyutaro, but it is unfortunate she does not keep that 4,000 to your opponent's turn, but it makes sense. She is a 3 energy raid, which is what makes her so good. He is going to play down, wow, a Guillaume, which lets him play down the other character by trashing a card. And then the Wind Hashira here, this particular one, if you have a certain amount of other Hashira out, he actually gets to come in active. So really good here, being able to flood the board and put some pressure on his opponent swinging in, choosing to block one, and just switching around here, maybe trying to keep his BP in order, highest to lowest. I do like to do this as well to make it easier on myself, but you are helping your opponent out usually when you do stuff like this, because you are, you know, kind of like helping them out, keep track of the board. But I think it's a good call to do either way. Just going to block through the Gyome here, being so strong with the 45, just shows how powerful of a card he is, being able to come down one of the best cards in the deck. I love the Gyomes being super strong. Does have to lose one of his Hashiras here to keep his life safe, but he still has a pretty healthy board, and if he can see some kill spells here, or, you know, a Miss Konroji, same thing as a kill spell, essentially, able to kill the Gyutaro off, but, you know, he still has one on the back line, does have a color trigger on the Gyutaro here, so being a purple trigger, I believe this one lets him play a 2 energy, 1 action point cost onto the field active, which is nice for him. Because he can, you know, now block with this character to draw a card, which is really good cycling for the deck. Choosing not to lose his dakis here, because they will be 4K on his board, but I think that those are not rated, right? So she does not get any of those effects now. And unfortunate to see a final trigger. Just going to play down the double energy generator on the back line, and then play out the demon on the front line, and he is able to sideline one of the characters and draw cards, so getting some free cycle, just swinging with the dakis, add trigger to hand, and he is able to block 4K with the Gyome. Yeah, that's a 4K one, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It's hard to tell with all these alt arts in the game. Just gonna play a Gyome on the back line, and then now he's gonna play the Tokito to rest something down, and I think they're just probably explaining here it won't come active, so that's probably why he's choosing to put them down instead of the dakis. Another final trigger. Unfortunate to see so many of those in life. I know you want those in life, but only if you know they're helping you out as a final trigger. If they're in your life and you don't see them in your hand, then you're not able to use those to progress the state of the game. Kind of a double-edged sword having them in your life. They can keep you alive. This daki here is going to let him play out the Gyutaro active, but it does cost him 2 action points, but nice. Fortunate for him, he is able to raid onto this Gyutaro, and this Gyutaro is really strong because it's going to put a lot of pressure on the opponent now, being able to, you know, when it wins a battle, it switches to active, but he does see the color trigger. Unfortunate being able to tap down the other one, and he does have DP to wall out his opponent. I think if we see, he's just going to move up here, switching out, just trying to get the big Gyome out. Is going to play over some characters here just to, you know, put on his board exactly what he wants. Able to keep a healthy, you know, character count throughout this whole game, right? Does see a raid trigger in life, but not able to use it here. I think he has to block out, give yourself a chance to maybe come back in this game. But he is able to, you know, get the win sideline from the daki to bring out the Gyutaro, which gives him another character on the board, and he may be able to put some pressure on the Hashira player this turn if he is able to push up some bodies. He did have to keep his energy line healthy, which is a little unfortunate, but he does finally see a final trigger to get him back the energy line. Is able to draw cards to sideline a character. Now he's able to search when this character is sidelined. But if it is a numbers game, which he is losing at right now, he had to get rid of one of his own characters to do this. So a little unfortunate that he wasn't able to also keep his, you know, energy line healthy while using some of these plays. He seemed a little upset there. Whatever he drew, probably just not able to see the right cards. Definitely doesn't want to block out this Gyutaro and let him restand. Choosing to block with the Gyome, losing his character on board, but he did play a lot of characters on the back line. He wanted to move up, and yeah, he's moving out those 2 characters here, just going to try to swing for game. Not choosing to play anything else from his hand before swinging here. Maybe misplay with 2 action points up in his hand, on his side of the board, but he's already swinging here, and I think maybe him on the right side now thinking that too, but it's not a final trigger, so either way he got the game. This is the list for the Hashira player. his deck is pretty blinged out. It's really cool to see these decks doing all this cool stuff. I am a little disappointed that we did not get to see other colors showing up in this tournament, but it is a really cool, awesome tournament. I love that Union Arena does these rare battles in the game, because then it gives everyone a chance who loves these animes to, you know, play with their favorite deck from each set, and, you know, get some cool prize cards, right? I think that Union Arena is doing a great job for sure, but I will try to get these deck lists, the other deck lists, linked in the description of the video. Wasn't able to get them ahead of time, but please let me know what y'all think about this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.